Hello everybody. So this video is about the experiences I went through from pregnancy till date. I have a baby who is now 1 year 4 months old, and it was an overwhelming experience. As everybody says that having a baby, to be a mother, is like an experience of a lifetime. And you see people going back to it. They have more than one child, so there is something extremely beautiful to it. And when you see the movies, you see all the fun and all the beauty associated with having a baby. Which are all true. Like, it's a very different kind of an experience when you see a little one growing up day by day, and you are teaching all the values, all the, you're actually developing a personality in another person, which is unique. However, a few days back, I saw an article in Facebook where it seems that a mother committed suicide because of postpartum depression. And people, like, especially in countries like India, they feel that these are all myths, and being a mother is like what you're waiting for. Like, for a woman, it's like the ultimate dream come true. And they forget that these kind of problems are also being faced by thousands of mothers every time. And because of the taboo associated with it, you cannot tell that to people, that yes, I have been through a postpartum depression, which is like a depression that you go through after having a baby. Now, I would like to talk about my experience, and there is, and I hope people who are expecting to have a baby, or they are just newly, they have been a mother, they can relate to it, and they can understand that they're not alone in this. There are a lot of people, a lot of mothers who are like you, and all of us. It's like all of us will get through it, and we will, at the end of the day, we'll have that beautiful face that everybody is waiting for. But yeah, people do go through psychological change because of a lot of things, because you go through hormonal changes, you go through lifestyle changes. And if you're, suppose in my case, I faced a problem because I am a working mother now. I was working, and it was a very different lifestyle change, and I had to adjust so many things in my life to to make it all work out. So yeah, uh, let's let's start. Okay. So when I was pregnant, I think pregnancy is the easiest phase of all. Like, from pregnancy to being a mother, and then you see your child growing up. We wait for this day to come, that when will my child come in my arms and I will see the child. And it seems like your pregnancy is becoming, too long. You are just waiting and waiting. But as a matter of fact, that is the best time in this whole process, because the initial trimester you do feel sick. It's tough to concentrate on anything else because of all the nausea due to hormonal changes, high level of HCG hormone in your body. You do feel very suffocated, nauseous, and irritated all the time. But once that phase passes, you see a new yourself, and people around you pampers you. You get all kinds of attention, love from everybody. You start glowing, and then there's this anticipation, excitement of welcoming a new person in your life. So it's an amazing phase, like the pregnancy. And if you have easy pregnancy, like in my case, touch wood, I did not face any uncalled for complications. So I was actually enjoying every day. I was doing my research, I was buying stuff, I was buying things to welcome the baby in smoothly. All these things happened. And then in November, I think 8th November night, my water broke, and it was 10:30 at night, and I was rushed to the hospital nearby. Now from that night, the toughest journey started, because from eighth night I was completely sleep deprived for a year or so. Even now my sleep cycle has changed, and like it's little light, and I used to be a very deep sleeper. I loved my sleep. But from 8th November 2017 till date, I did not get a very good, sound sleep. That is one thing. But the good part is, like, human body knows how to adapt to situations. Initially it was really difficult, and with time now I am adjusted to it. I don't mind it, and I don't feel weak or anything. I'm fine with the sleep cycle that I have. But those few months initially was really tough. So eighth night, the whole night, my doctor tried to induce labor, and I was in pain for the whole night. After 12 hours, I think in morning 9:30, 10 a.m., when the doctor came and checked me, I was still not dilated enough, and they expected another 10, 12 hours, which was like unbearable for me. And I said no, I don't want to go through a labor, like normal delivery. So please take me to the OT and do a C-section on me. I'm fine with it. So here you have to know, also mind one thing, that there's this notion about you are a mother if you go through a normal delivery. If you're doing a C-section, it's not good. You are not going through that pain, and then you're not a mother. These are all these are all bakwas. Okay, even in C-section, a mother goes through tough times. Maybe it's not as painful as a normal delivery, but the pain that you face in a C-section is a prolonged pain. Okay, so in my case, what happens nowadays, they don't do a full anesthesia. It's not that you will not feel anything. So when I went to the OT at 10 a.m. or so, and I was given a spinal anesthesia, I was able to feel everything. Okay, it was not that I did not feel anything. I saw people operating on me, and you feel all the pressure. So when the scalpel was moving on my tummy, I could feel the scalpel moving from this end to that end, and I thought I am not, under anesthesia, and I shouted that, "Hey, it's not. I'm not down. Please, please do something. Increase the dose." And they're like, "We have already made the cut. It's okay." And like, what? Somebody has cut my tummy? Okay. And then they apply a lot of pressure on you to pull the baby out, and you feel that pressure. And since it was my first time, I did not know what was happening. Nobody told me this will happen. I thought, what is wrong? They're like pulling out my intestine or something. And I shouted and shouted, and then they lifted the baby up and said that, you have a boy. By that time, it was not like those movie moments when I cried. I was like, oh, okay, I have a boy. And then I think I fell unconscious because of all the stress I went through for all these hours. And so that's that. That is the experience of the OT. Then comes the recovery room. In the recovery room, I don't know how long I was sleeping. I said I fell unconscious or something. I don't know what happened to me. And then when I woke up, I saw my baby. I was feeding my baby, and all those things were happening. And suddenly, the anesthesia was started to wear off. And then I understood the pain that I was going through in my tummy, because it felt that somebody has put my tummy on fire. It was that bad, and my pain threshold is very low. So I shouted and shouted, and I told them that give me some painkiller, and they said that you are on we have given you the maximum level of painkiller that we could give. Now you have to bear the pain. So again, I was going through that pain for quite some time, and then slowly that pain started wearing off. Maybe the painkiller started to kick in, and it was still bearable. That day, even though you don't feel that bad pain, but still the pain stays for some time. Moving from this side to that side becomes very difficult, because you get the pain in your uterus. But what they do is after a few hours at night, that night the nurses kept on telling me that you have to keep on moving from this side to that side so that the blood doesn't clot at one end, and then it will be another uh, you know a complicated situation. So keep on try to move from here to there, and I was thinking how on earth can I do that? But with the help of my husband and my family, I was doing it, and then every 2 hours the baby was being breastfed. So anyway, I was exhausted, but every 2 hours I was feeding the baby. I couldn't sleep that night either at all. And then next morning around 6 a.m. or so, they came and they started, took me to, for a bath, cleaning me, and all those things happened. And I felt like crying at the top of my voice. I wanted to tell them that please give me a break. I really want to sleep. But nothing of that sort happened. And all in the meantime, when the day 3, when I was supposed to come back to my home with the baby, he was diagnosed with a very low level of jaundice, which is pretty common in babies nowadays. So he had to stay one more night under that blue light, and it was again a mental stress for us because we did not expect that a newborn baby will go through that kind of a procedure. They are kept under very hard light, and when I was holding him, I could feel that his body got warm because of that strong light. So I kept on crying, looking at him. He was crying because their eyes are covered with a black mask in this whole 24 hours process. And he did not understand what is happening to him. So he kept on crying. I kept on crying. And after all that, I thought once I go home, things will be better. I just wanted to come home. I just thought if I come back to my comfort zone, everything will fall in place. But no, because in the hospital, the nurses are a great help. If you keep on pressing the bell, like every time, changing the nappy, changing the cloth of the baby, swaddling him, everything. I am not able to do it. Press the bell, they comes and they help you. But at home, you're on your own. Now you know you're a mother. You have to take care of the baby. You have to swaddle him, cuddle him, feed him, bathe him, do everything. Now, from this point of time, you are on a learning phase. The baby is learning to adapt to this world, and you are learning to be a mother, and you will fail at times. You will not understand what to do, and then you will start feeling, you are not good enough. Why your motherly instincts are not kicking in? And lot of things, and because now again your body starts to go back to where it was, so a lot of hormonal changes happen, your body starts changing back. With all these things, you have a tendency to feel low and depressed and down, and also because you are exhausted, you have, in my case, because it was a cesarean, my pain was there for 2 months. I was not able to sleep properly on my sides, and also, so nowadays it's recommended that you try to breastfeed your baby as much as you can. And when you are becoming mother for the first time, you want to follow everything to the T, like everything the doctor says. You feel that if you don't listen to them, something bad will happen. And so I was trying to do that. I was feeding my baby only breast milk, even though my mother, they said that give him some formula, you will get a break, but I was not doing that. And because of that, I like in at night also, every 2 hours I was waking up. I used to put alarm, I used to wake up and feed him. And my boy was a very light sleeper, so once he woke up, he used to take another 2 hours to fall asleep at night. So all in all, in the whole day, maybe I was sleeping for 4 to 5 hours, which was not at all adequate. So there were times when I started, I used to cry a lot. I used to think, what have I done to myself? Am I suited for this? Is this what I signed up for? And then I used to tell everybody that these movies, no, they give you all the wrong information. They tell you that if you sing a lullaby, the boy will sleep, your baby will sleep. But that's not true. They are not sleeping. Whatever I do, they are not sleeping. And all this together culminated into a situation where, if I was alone anytime at home with my boy and me, because I was on a maternity leave for a long time. Sometime my husband used to go to office. Most of the time he was working from home to support me. But then when he was going to office and I was left alone at home, I just felt, where am I? I felt so low, especially in the evening at the sunset. After sunset, it was horrible. And I was researching on all the postpartum things, and I was thinking, should I go to a doctor? What should I do? Should I take help? But I have realized that people actually don't understand this, because it's a very new term that you see people talk around. Only people who go through it, only mothers who go through it, they know it's for real. And it doesn't make you any less of a mother. It's just that it's a coping mechanism, I guess. What I used to do is I was like, this will pass. That was the motto of my life each day. That this day will pass, there will be a new day. This day will pass, there will be a new day. And initially, what I felt was like, the connect with the baby increases with time. At least that happened to me. Everybody is different. But in my case, the connect increased with time, because in the initial time you do a lot for the baby, but it doesn't reciprocate anything back. It doesn't know how to smile. Also, a baby when it comes doesn't know how to smile. So you are loving the baby, cuddling the baby, coochie cooing it, but he's not doing anything back to you. He doesn't even recognize the mother. So you feel dejected at time that I'm doing so much, he doesn't even know that I'm mother. But with time, you see that the baby bonds a lot more with the mother than anybody else. A nanny can take care. In my case, the nanny takes care of the baby. My baby is very fond of the nanny, but he loves me. I think the he loves me the most. No nanny, no papa, no nanny, no daddy. It's me.
Dance, dance, Tojo, dance.
Even though I go out to work, he doesn't see me for a long time of the day, but he is still very attached to me, because they also start getting that bond. That bond starts getting stronger with passing time, and you then become, I think, happy to sacrifice everything. You don't care that what he will become in the future, what will happen. Nothing. You just love your baby. But initially, because you don't get anything back, and because of all these changes around you, I think that also culminates to this kind of an issue in you. But don't lose heart, because you're not alone. And as I said, that day will pass, and with time things really get better. Now, it's a fun thing. I tell my husband that if he would not have been in our life, things would have been very boring, very flat. What we were doing initially before Archie was in our life, 5 days a week we were working. Weekends we used to go out, party, come back. 5 days we used to work. So this also has a monotonicity attached to it. When you have a baby, it's discover new things every day. You see him doing, small little things, and you're like, oh wow, he clapped today, he laughed today. These are very small little things. Every baby does it, but when your own baby starts doing it, it is very special. And also, um, you yourself discover so many things about you that you never knew existed in you, that kind of capability. So you start feeling good about yourself also. So I think the toughest part will be the first 1 year of a baby's life. Post that, things will start getting better. You will also cope with everything. So don't lose heart. If you're feeling depressed, dejected, don't lose heart. You're not alone. A lot of people go through it. If you think you need to talk to somebody, please go to a doctor, or talk to a friend, or talk to fellow mothers who has, I think they're the best person to talk to. Because when I used to talk to my colleagues who had baby, or my friends who had babies, I felt very relieved, because when I was questioning myself as a mother, I saw they were questioning themselves as well. So I am not alone in it, and people are going through the same thing, and everybody comes out of it. So, and on specifically, don't listen to your mothers and mother-in-law when they say that it has been very smooth for them. Because in my case, my mother-in-law, they used to say, "Oh, in my time, we did not face this much problems. It was all fine." No, no, you guys were not that naughty. You guys were sleeping fine. You guys were not that, cranky. But I think they have forgotten, because it has been, what, 30 years or so since their time, and they only remember the good part. They've forgotten the tough parts, and maybe with time I will only remember the good parts. I will forget all these things that I have been through, and then to my next generation I will also say, you know what, it's nothing, it's very easy. It's not easy, but it's fun. So if you're thinking of having a baby, or you're going to have a baby, just remember, all the tough times will pass, and you will have a new friend in your family. That's how you have to think. So, all the best.